Hey, it's Eric with Outdoor Retailer 2018 Summer Market here in beautiful downtown Denver. One of the big things going down a lot in Denver has been changing is people getting around on electronic devices, whether they're scooters, electric bikes, electric skateboards. There's even kind of looks like it's a monoboard, which is like a single wheel that you ride around on. And suddenly, everybody looks like they're in the Jetsons or something. Like they're just zipping around. And anyway, I've been meaning to stop by this booth. I'm here with Atom Electric Longboards, and Joel Lee is the engineer. And Joel, can you tell us a little bit about your boards and what is making this work? It sure looks like a lot of fun.
Definitely a lot of fun. So thanks for stopping by, Eric. So our whole deal, obviously, as you see, is electric longboards. So our origin is actually in mountain boards. That's where we started. So we had kind of an all-terrain flair to the longboard thing. We got into the longboards. We're into transportation, health, outdoor. That's kind of been the nature of our business. And about 3 years ago, we started to notice that the advancements in the electric technology really got to the point to make electric transportation, personal transportation, affordable, efficient, and basically fun. That's another big part of it. So
reliable.
So it really was kind of a turning point, I think, for this whole thing. So that's when we launched into the electrics. We have a whole range. The one that you're looking at right here is one of our kind of semi-hybrid off-road ones. And this is kind of, we have a bunch of different technology, but basically, in a nutshell, you got a battery, lithium battery, of course, like most things are today. So you have it's efficient, it's safe, it's got a lot of energy density packed into a small space.
Sure.
Yep, so you can get a lot of range, you can get power, and out of something that's not very heavy. So that's kind of the source of the energy. That comes to a DC motor, a brushless DC motor, and once again, super duper efficient.
I love how beefy the
yeah, that's one of our specialties. This is our MBS all-terrain longboard wheel. So a lot of the boards you'll see have just normal longboard wheels.
Right.
But these just mean that in town, you can actually do a little bit off-road, but in town, you hit cracks in the road, stones, anything like that, these things just blow over it. So that's one of kind of our specialties, and that's why this is actually one of my favorite boards right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So we've got a belt drive here.
Yep. So we do both. We do hub drives and belt drives. So that's one of the things in the industry right now that.
What's the advantages to either one?
Yeah. So sure. So the belt drive, probably the main advantage is actually torque. You have a 3-to-1 gearing ratio on these. So in terms of getting the most torque out of a DC motor, you can actually get that. So this can probably, for the power that's in this, you can climb hills a little bit better than you can on a hub motor.
So with the belt drive, because of the torque ratio, you're better off the line.
Better off,
off the line, better from just from
exactly.
Standing, from not moving.
Yeah, and it depends a little bit, but mainly kind of, especially when it gets up to that peak RPM, it can really climb the hill. So that would be probably the main thing with the belt drive. With the hub motor, I mean, I love both, but hub motors, really low maintenance, fantastic. If somebody's really new to the sport in general, hub motors are fantastic because they're never going to, strip a belt or break a belt, or really, they're much lower maintenance. So that's one advantage. And the other is, even though this freewheel is pretty good when you let off,
it doesn't completely freewheel.
It doesn't completely freewheel, and a hub motor does. So that's one, transportation-wise.
So
say you run out of battery.
If you want to be more of a coasting kind of
rider, you can go out and push. You can push the hub motors around like you do a normal, normal longboard.
And then when you're not engaged, they're just free.
Yeah. So it's really just it's a decision, and there's different camps. Everybody's got a different opinion, but anybody who's looking to get a longboard, electric longboard, do your research. There's tons of stuff online. We have a YouTube channel. At Atom Longboards, and we have tons of information on there comparing the two, so great information out there.
Awesome. I'm up in Idaho Springs, and we have a longboard route that is unofficial, and the State Patrol certainly doesn't want you doing, but if you were to go up by the trout pond and start from there and come back into town, there are 4 miles of pristine blacktop, and you really have to watch your game in the beginning, but you're floating the whole way down. Now, what's really neat about longboarding is that kind of riding, but the problem is Denver's flat.
Yeah, that's right.
So how do you arc a curve, and how do you pretend, how do you get that surfing feel
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
if you're not up in the hills. And,
Yeah.
Obviously, this seems like a great way to
exactly
do that.
it, and that's what we've been about for the last 20 years. We've been doing this, and we're all about carving. And this is just another way. You know, like I said, we started off with the mountain boards. That's been a big thing, which is kind of snowboarding in the summertime. The same thing. You need a hill, and half the people, you know, it's like, oh, where am I going to ride that? This, you can ride it wherever you want. You can ride it downhill. You can ride it uphill. And the other thing about riding it downhill, and it's something that's actually overlooked about electric longboards often the time, is you have a brake. It has a regenerative braking system.
I was just thinking about that, actually.
So if you get on a hill that's, you know, a little bit, you know, too much for you, you still want to know how to stop in an emergency, but if you want to shed a little bit of speed, it's just got regenerative braking.
It's regenerative as well, so it's not just resistance, it's actually putting power back into the board.
And sure, you lose a little bit to heat and everything like that, but it is actually putting power, putting energy back into the battery.
Wow, that's really cool. So, of course, you don't need the beefy, knobby tires, but they're nice in the city.
Yep, that's
so
personal preference.
Right. And you guys do all your engineering here, right?
Yep. Actually, we have our engineering office is in Australia.
Oh, okay.
So our headquarters is here in Colorado. I'm out of Australia, which we do all of our R&D, and that's kind of the global team.
Awesome. And you manufacture in Asia?
Yeah, in Asia. Yeah.
Okay. If our audience were interested in finding you guys, Atom Electric Longboards?
Well, it's actually atomlongboards.com, and that has the range of all our, because we do normal longboards and we do electrics as well. So we have a whole range depending on what people are looking for. So atomlongboards.com.
Awesome. And so this model itself is, it's not a drop deck. You don't have any drop decks, right?
In the electric range, we do not have any drop decks. So we have another all-terrain version of this, which is just almost the same as this, but in a drop deck, so it gets you nice low center of gravity, but that's not electric.
Oh, okay.
So, but all the boards for our electrics have low center of gravity, nice flexi decks.
Right.
You know, so it's a cushy ride. It's really fun.
What model is this? Just so if any of the viewers are watching, they know what we're looking at.
B10X. So we have several different models. Like I said, we have some in the hub motor range. We have some in the belt motor range. Short boards, long boards, but I picked this one just because it's just a personal favorite. So I love them all, and I would ride different ones on different days for different purposes, but this is one, it's kind of my go-to board, and it's mainly just because the wheels are it's a 78A durometer, so it's a pretty standard durometer for a longboard wheel, but there's just so much urethane that it sucks up all the bumps and the cracks and the rocks, and it just glides. It's a really, really nice feel. So this is just a personal favorite.
Nice. Cool. Well, I'm impressed with the components. Like I said, they're super beefy. Not just the tires, but the way the belt drive's put together, the wiring, how you're handling all that is pretty cool. Do you have any with two belt drives?
Yeah, we do. Actually, not at the show, but we have one coming out next month, which is similar version to this. And we have because
I always want more. You know, it's never good enough as it is.
Let me just grab this guy. So if you're looking for a dual motor, then this little beauty right here, called Black Beauty, right, is a dual hub motor. So this is what I was talking about. This has lower rolling resistance. It's a monocoque deck. The battery's built inside. Very, very sexy looking board. Nice. So if you're looking for something that's got in our range that has, if you're not worried about the off-road capability or the big wheels, then this is great because it's the fastest board in our range. It's got the best hill climbing power, and it's also got the
does it have
longest range and hill climbing power. Yeah.
So what's the range?
So this one is about 13 miles.
13 miles.
Yeah.
And then top speed?
You can ride for about an hour. Top speed on this is 21 miles an hour, which is nice. I mean, everybody's different, but 20 miles an hour, 21 miles an hour is enough to be fun. That gets you a little bit of a thrill. This one right here does about 16 miles an hour. Great commuting speed. Probably 90% of the people that are gonna, get their first electric longboard, that's perfect. But then there's people that are gonna want just a little bit more, something that has a little bit of an edge. 20 miles an hour gives you that edge.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Joel, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, you bet.
That's great.
Appreciate it.